What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, for those of you guys that have been following along the channel over the last year, we've built, set up, worked on this ASIC mining shed. Well, coming up next week on Monday, we are going to be giving it a massive upgrade. If you guys have been following along, we have a 150 amp sub panel in this shed, and it feeds off of the house over here, which is a 200 amp. And well, with ASIC mining, you fill up 150 amps in absolutely no time. So we're going to be upgrading to a 400 amp dedicated phase 1 electrical setup coming off of a pole right around the corner here on the property. It has been a lot of work talking with the electric company, getting things planned out, learning about an inspection that we need to have, ordering in everything, and we're absolutely changing our entire airflow setup to work in this residential setup. So let's go over everything that I'll be working on over the next 10 days.
Today's video is sponsored by the team over at altertech.io. I was in the market to purchase one of the newest generation Bitcoin miners, and Altertech had exactly what I was looking for. The Bitmain Antminer S19K Pro 120 terahash Bitcoin ASIC miner. I ordered from Altertech via credit card and was amazed at how easy it was to check out. Within 3 days, I had a brand new Bitmain box sitting at my front door waiting for me. Since then, I've ordered a boatload of mining accessories from their store. The Epic UMC control board, as well as 5 of the Altertech 30 amp 240 volt L6 30P PDUs. Go over and check out altertech.io today and use promo code TheHobbyistMiner for a discount at checkout.
All right, let's take a walk to the shed here, and I'm gonna do a quick 60-second tour for those of you guys tuning in for the first time. This is our intake wall. I just actually took off the Gable vents and replaced them. Behind them was filters. We removed the filters in anticipation of this upcoming week, and they were crazy dirty. We'll talk about the inside in a second. On our left side here, we have 4 T16 AC Infinity inline fans. I'm actually going to be selling these and parting ways with these. So if you guys are part of the Discord community, keep an eye out in the Hobbyist Miner yard sale section. I have these 4 T16s as well as 4 T20s that we'll be parting ways with. So these actually did a great job of keeping these noisemakers over here company and warm over the fall and winter. They have a little hen house here. Talk about this entire wall here in a minute. So jumping inside, we epoxied the floor, and let's take a look. So here's our intake wall, our Ethernet and network, our 150 amp sub panel, and you guys can see it gets eaten up quick. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total 30 amp 240 volts. They're gone in so quickly with ASIC miners. Totally different with GPU mining. We're running a Google Mesh setup here, nothing too crazy. We have our ASICs right in here, and not a ton, but we are maxed out on power right now. This one is not plugged in, KD Lite. But yeah, not a ton of equipment here. We got a little computer workstation. We ran all individual Ethernet over into a patch panel and into the switch, and all of our power runs up. We have a variety of C13 to C14, and some of these actually have a C19 to C20 available. Everything runs up and over to our electrical wall over here. Here's our electrical wall, all of our PDUs. Huge shout out to Altertech for helping to sponsor this shed build. We have all of our meter boxes. Meter box is helping to continue to sponsor the shed build. I'll show you guys that in a minute. And everything goes up and feeds out to the miners. We have our inline fans over here on this side, running nice and cool right now, 97. So our AC Infinity fans here, 4 of them. And then we actually have, which we're gonna keep, an AC Infinity 8-inch inline fan up there and another one up there. So what is coming? Well, let's talk about that. All right, so while we're chatting about it, I thought I'd go over all the equipment that we picked up here over probably the last month or so. Got quite a variety of equipment. You know, we got our surface mount boxes, we have our couplers here, our cement there. This is mostly our electrical stuff. We have 10-foot regular PDUs here that we're going to be using, and those are going to work out for the fans, which are way back there. We'll talk about those. Boatloads of meter boxes as we're expanding those. Huge shout out to those guys for sponsoring the shed, as well as the guys over at Altair Tech with the PDUs. These are a few ASICs over from my shed right now. K10 we brought over, L7, K7, and then finally the SC Lite we brought over as well. So this is hopefully going to be a huge lifesaver. Look at this guy, this massive bit. This is an 8-inch bit that we're going to be using to drill all of our exhaust duct holes. And let me show you guys what we're talking about here. Lots of silicone. So these are actually all custom ordered from Famco, and I'll show you what we're going to be using those for. These are the exhaust ducts. So every ASIC is going to get its own dedicated exhaust duct. I'm trying to see if there's a way I can get this out without cutting my finger. All right, so check this out. So every ASIC is going to go, this is going to go through the wall. Let me see if I can take this off. There we go. So our plywood, our rear wall is going to be right here. And this is we're actually going to cut this down to about 4 inches. 8 inches is too long. And each ASIC shroud kit, the shroud kit's going to hook up to it. It's going to go through. And then the nice thing is we have a critter guard there, and there's actually a flap. So if I'm not using one of these, it's nice and sealed and closed. So we had to order those custom from Famco, got those in. So I'm excited for those. Those are 8-inch. So we have 20 of those because we're going to have 20 fans on that backside, which will be nice. We got plates. We got RJ45 keystones in here. Ethernet cable, boxes of Ethernet cable. We have our inline fans to get started, and then we are going to have to order some more. Pivotal pleb boards, which I think are awesome. They're in here all packed away. Let's see what we got here. So these are for some of those the S21s and stuff that use the new size. These are all like the fan spoofers and stuff like that are all in here, and the pivotal pleb boards. Look, they're all like nicely wrapped in here. Let's see if I can pull one out. Yep, there we go. Check that out. Cool. So huge shout out to Pivotal Pleb for sponsoring the shed. We got plenty of our foil tape. We're going to use our AC Infinity ductwork. And then we have lots of these Fruit and Associate boxes here. Huge shout out to them for sponsoring the shed project as well for all of our different ASICs. And then finally, not Halloween costumes, but all of our cables, our shorter 3-foot cables that we'll be using, a variety of C13 to C14 and C19 to C20. In addition, taking a walk outside, we ordered in a bunch of plywood as well as 2x4s in here. So as you guys can see, we got these ready to go. 100 2x4s, 9-footers, as well as plywood for the project. So you see that pole all the way out there, and I won't walk all the way over there because the neighbors are absolutely going to look at me like, what is this guy doing with the camera walking across the property? But from that pole, we are going to be trenching. We have to do a 2-foot trench with a backhoe all the way up. You can actually see the previous line from 10 months ago runs over to his shed, or to his house there. That is the previous one we put in, but we have to trench a 2-foot trench over to the back ass side of this, and there is our 3-inch conduit that we have to run. We have 16 of those total. They're 10-footers. So we're going to do 2 feet all the way out and right to the actual pole over there. We have to come up the pole a few feet. The power company gave us all these details, everything like that. And we actually have to leave 15 feet uncovered and not backfill it so that it can be inspected. There's actually an Ethernet cable that runs in this previous trench. We're gonna leave that. That runs over to the house and into the house, getting internet from my electrician's house here. So we're gonna take that over here. And once we get over here, we're gonna put a 400 amp meter base right here. That was hard to find. 400 amp meter base that was like UL approved or whatnot is gonna go right here. And that is gonna be exciting. I'm not doing this work. My electrician is doing it. That I've partnered up with on our shed here. You can see one of those inline fans right up there running, which does amazing to get rid of that heat up there. Those will be run so much less coming up here. We'll talk about airflow in a minute. So that is our plan on this side. On this side, we're gonna leave all the intake exactly the same way. Put filters in here on these guys up top here. And these actually are nice. So let me pull this off. You can see there's a screen there, so you can sit the filter right in there. If you guys are curious on filters, I know those are always in question with sheds and garages and basement setups. I use Boar's Hair MERV 3. I found it doesn't restrict too much, but it also does add some layers of filtration. They are washable, but I end up just replacing them about twice a year. These do not have any filters behind them, but I'm gonna build something in with screens there. And then this gutter we did put in when we built the shed in order to funnel the water away from the intake wall. Before we had water coming down off of the top of the shed, and this works out really, really well. So let's talk exhaust side. You know, what are we doing differently? What are we doing inside differently? Well, that's a ton. So, gonna make it quick here. We are gonna be coming in next week and everything is coming out. All the ASICs, this racking's coming out. This entire wall is coming out. All of our electrical's coming out. Over on our network side's coming out. The network is actually gonna be over there. And this whole wall's coming out. We're gonna move our 200 amp panel, build it new over here with a second 200 amp panel. So we're gonna do two 200 amp panels side by side here. Network is getting relocated because we don't have enough room over here with the two 200 amp panels. Ethernet's coming entirely out because we're not gonna have any miners in the middle. This is actually gonna be an open workbench. Can't wait to show you guys that. We're gonna have some of these ASICs that I review and test and have for a short period of time. It's gonna be a 6 foot by 4 foot workbench right here, a little closer to the intake side, which will work out nicely. What we're doing though is right here, this wall is entirely coming out. We're gonna reinforce it. All these exhaust fans are coming out, and we're gonna spread out. We're gonna have less 2x4s, but we're gonna double reinforce them to spread them out. So imagine this wall is solid, and then I'm gonna have a shelf a few inches off the ground, about 4 inches off the ground, a full shelf from that wall to that wall, and it's gonna be double reinforced, and then another shelf right about here, all the way across. And every ASIC is gonna have a AC Infinity inline fan, every ASIC is gonna have a shroud, and every ASIC is gonna have a full exit port right out the back of our brand new wall. So that's gonna help with this. This loud noise is gonna go away because you're gonna have the inline fan sounds and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty sweet. So that is coming up here very, very soon. So that whole wall's coming out because it's just too loud. My goal is to double. We're gonna plan for about 22 ASICs in here total. So those are gonna sit all along this wall here in row 1 and row 2. Our PDUs are actually gonna go on and underneath of the shelving. And instead of using these 25-foot cables, I have 3-foot cables, thank God, so much cheaper and less distance. We're gonna go from 5 PDUs to a total of, these will have a total of 10 PDUs through here, all the way through. So that'll be really nice because we're gonna have a total of 10 of these meter boxes, 5 on each row. I'm sorry, yeah, all the way through here. So that's gonna work out really, really well. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 ASICs using brains, 2 ASICs per meter box. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then we're gonna double this. That's gonna give us 20. And then on our workbench, we're gonna have 2 30 amp, 2 40 volts. So total of 22 ASICs, maybe up to 24 ASICs. So that's gonna be absolutely awesome. We are partnering, as I said, with Altair Tech. I'll put links to their PDUs down below. We're partnered with the meter box. We're also partnering up with Fruit and Associates for all of our shrouds for these systems, which should be really, really exciting. So that's coming up next week. We'll be working all week on it. But yeah, next time you guys see the shed, it should be, I'm gonna release a video later in about a week or about 2 weeks. That's gonna have the entire progress, kind of day-by-day check-in in one total video. All right, guys, that's it. I gotta wrap things up here. Got a meeting on our schedule for next week. I'll see you guys next time, and you will see the shed completely overhauled. I cannot wait. Take care.
Sorry to interrupt your video, but check this out. I constantly get emails from the community asking me about trustworthy hosting facilities in the United States that I recommend. Well, I got you covered. Listen up.
A few months back, I visited BlockOps Mining's brand new facility in Central Arkansas. The team there was super professional, knowledgeable, and everyday miners like you and I. After visiting the facility, I sent them a few of my ASIC miners for hosting and have been super happy with their service and communication. Go contact BlockOps Mining directly down below in the video description and tell them the Hobbyist Miner sent you for great pricing on miners and hosting.